Another day, another PVZ Fusion challenge. Oh, okay, seriously though, the support on my first video has been absurd. Like, you're all amazing, and I'm really excited to do more of this content. So, please subscribe and stuff for more. Anyways, with all that said, let's get into the video, yeah? So, this challenge was really odd. The hardest stages from the last challenge were easy, and the easiest parts of the last one were super hard. Weird, right? We'll get into why later on, but until then, I should say this time I'm going to put the rules up front. Mostly because I think it makes things way easier to understand and a bit easier to follow. That's the same thing. You get the idea. The rules are as follows. 1. Only sunflower and its fusions are allowed. 2. An exception is made for lily pad and flower pots. 3. Another exception is made for pre-planted plants, i.e. plants the game plants for you at the start of a level. Finally, unlike the last video, blowover won't be allowed at all. I only allow blowover if I absolutely have to, and this run didn't require it. Also, this isn't like a formal rule or anything, but I should mention, I'm allowed to plant non-sunflowers on the ground, something like a pea shooter or a cabbage pult, as long as they don't get hurt or deal any damage or get any value of any kind, okay? Now that all the boring stuff is out of the way, we're getting into the actual game, starting with World 1, the daytime. The first few levels in the day are a tutorial, mostly serving to introduce us to the game and its unique mechanic of fusing plants together. Very easy overall, and just like in the last run, Solar Shooter is going to be a huge part of this run. So I hope you enjoy its design, cause it's here to stay. Levels 4 and 5 are a lot harder in this run, weirdly enough, putting up a serious challenge. This is also where we start getting 2 flag levels, and because I'm a moron who just beat the entire game with only pea shooters, I keep placing them down instead of sunflowers, which forces me to restart a couple times. Overall, still easy enough, but not exactly a cakewalk by any means. Levels 6 and 7. Wait. No. I didn't mean it like that. No, please. Anyways, these levels were rough. Mystery box zombies make their first appearance here. They have an insane amount of health and turn into a random zombie upon death. Thankfully, as we'll soon see, Chomper is an underrated gem of a plant that makes quick work of not only these zombies, but many more to come in the future. Chomper has the ability to instantly kill any zombie that isn't a Garg, which is crazy. Unlike plants like Potato Mine or Cherry Bomb, it doesn't deal a set amount of damage. It's instead a semi-expensive way to instantly kill virtually any zombie and nullify their armor or special abilities on death. The final levels of the world are easy, which is weird, right? But level 8 gives us an almost unlimited amount of time to prep, which makes it a walk in the park, and level 9 is just weirdly easy all around. It requires a lot of attention and management, but nothing unreasonable at this point of the game. A running theme you'll notice in the worlds is that no matter what, the first levels are always really easy. Of course, the same is true for World 2, so level 10 doesn't even put up a challenge. That being said, we shouldn't get complacent, as I quickly learned. Level 11 is a massive difficulty spike, which, sucks. Yeah. It's not even that interesting of a spike. I still won, but I had to lose most lawnmowers, which made me sad. Why the hell is the script written like this? Whatever. Level 12 is very interesting. As I pointed out earlier, this challenge run's hard parts are almost directly opposite of the last run. Level 12 and 13 are a perfect example of this. In the pea shooter only run, it was easy to breeze past these levels without much worry. However, in this run, these levels were easily the hardest in the game. Not these levels specifically, but these kinds of levels, rather. The way I see it, it's for one main reason. In the pea shooter run, I had a major sun problem. I had insane amounts of damage I simply couldn't afford to beat the early game often. In this run, the exact opposite is the case. I often have 4 or 5 digits of sun in some levels, but what I don't have is a good way to deal damage. It's not super relevant, but it's just something I was thinking about while making this, and I felt like I should share it. I feel like level 14 is just more of the same, so instead I'm going to use this time to take about a few plants that have saved us in this run. In the most recent update of the mod 3.1, it added in 2 new sunflower fusions, one we're going to see in a little bit, and the second is called Comet Shroom, a fusion between Hypno Shroom and Sunflower.
This is probably one of the most underrated fusions in this entire game. He has two effects. First, he works like a normal hypnoshroom. Any zombies that eat it are instantly converted to our side. The second effect, however, is where things get interesting. It spawns a bouncing sun projectile that ricochets off to up to 10 zombies, dealing 100 damage per zombie. Not only does this deal damage, it also provides us with even more sun, and later on in the pool, proves to be a very effective way to handle snorkel zombies. Now, the second fusion added in this update was something called Sunday Shroom. No, not that guy. Anyway, this plant was actually a huge saving grace, and one I'm gonna make use of in normal runs from now on. Basically, he's got the effects of Ice Shroom and produces sun, right? Wrong! Every 25 seconds, he chills the entire screen. Think of what Snow Pea does normally, that kind of effect. And the third time he does this, he instead freezes the whole screen like a normal Ice Shroom, all while producing sun for us. Really helpful and handy to keep around. Anyways, back to the game, we're on to level 16 now. I can sum this up in a few words, actually. We unlocked Doom Shroom. Seriously though, Doomflower is probably the best plant in this entire run, no joke. Having the effects of Doom Shroom is insane, especially because it only costs an extra 50 sun. And the fact Doomflower herself grow mini Doom Shrooms is just a cherry on top. Or I guess you could say, Doom Shroom on top. No. Yeah, I didn't think so. Speaking of cherries, the next level seems afraid of them. What? Okay, that transition sucked, but anyways, level 17 introduces Tall Nut zombies, which, aside from having a mouthful of a name, also just have enough health to avoid dying to a single instaplant, which, yay. Sunbomb is much harder to get value in this level, same with other fusions like Solar Mine. It was a really difficult one, but I pulled through. We're still in the earlier part of the game, so it's not crazy difficult or anything. Level 18, the next level, was way easier for some reason. Okay, I actually know the exact reason I tricked you. See, up to this point, I've avoided talking about dancing pole vaulter zombies, and by extent, Michael Zombie. Yes, that is his name. It's up there with Zombarine on the tier list of goofy names. Anyways, I don't need to explain them, I'll just show you a brief clip. Yeah. Anyways, why bring them up now? Well, this is the first level in a while to not include them at all, which is why I found this level was one of the easiest in the entire world. It's actually a really nice way to finish things off after all we've been through. The pool. See, during the last video, the pool was the second easiest world since the first, so I was under the impression it'd be the same for this challenge. Oh, how wrong I was. This is where the zombies start to get really tanky. Screen doors and bucketheads start to become common, tanking for the annoying specials. For now, it's easy, but in the second level already, we're forced up against football zombies, which just make things even harder to kill. Right after that, on level 21, they start to send snorkel zombies, which are immune to almost all forms of damage in this game, even while eating plants. I had to use instas for them, and as previously mentioned, the comet shroom projectile worked really well for stopping them. And after all this, we're forced to once again meet my arch nemesis. The Zombarine once again makes his appearance, and his stupid name has haunted my nightmares since I beat the last challenge. Unfortunately, Zombarine was very upset that I badmouthed him last time, so this time he's proven to be even more annoying. Without a single Tanglekelp fusion to our name, we're backed into a corner with Zombarine threatening us, demanding we take the video down and restore his honor. Thankfully, a shining hero comes to our rescue. Solar Chomper once again proves that they're secretly busted, as they prove they can instantly eat Zombarines without any trouble, which kinda scares me, but also really cool. Level 23, we're up against one of my all-time favorite zombies, Zomboni. They also have a silly name, but they have a cool hat, so they're forgiven. And with our new Jalapeno fusion, we're not actually that well off. See, the fusion with Jalapeno, Solar Flare, not that one, this one. He's actually kind of a dingus, choosing to not only burn all the zombies in a lane, but also fry most of the plants and turn them into sun. This dickhead caused me huge pain and lots of annoyance. He's not exactly what I'd call helpful. Thankfully, Solar Chomper, being the gamer that they are, decides to simply eat the Zombonis, once again proving their worth. The next level, which has Bobsled Zombonis, an even stronger variant of them with enough to tank instas, is also conveniently eaten by them, so yay. Level 25. This level was brutal, easily the hardest one so far. Had it been even a few more seconds, it would have gotten us. It's also our first 4-flag level, which is quickly going to become the norm. This means we have to endure more than anything. Patience is key in these kinds of levels. 26 is the finale of the daytime pool and the hardest level so far, throwing everything we've beaten against us in one level. Zombonis and Zombarines force usage of Chompers, meanwhile tanky zombies like Buckethead and Screen Door demand usage of Sunbomb and Comet Shroom. With all that said and done, I think we can conclude the pool. Overall, way harder than I'd ever expected, and more stressful. This run has had a lot of micro, which basically just means I'm forced to constantly move plants around, pull zombies around with the gardening gloves, and make careful use of insta-plants. It's a lot of fun, I won't lie, but also stressful as all hell. Oh, yeah, I guess I should mention, conveyors are being skipped like last time. They can't be beaten for obvious reasons, and also don't give us the choice of plants to bring, so I feel it's fair to exempt them from the run. Yeah. This is the part of the run where a few technical issues, mostly just me forgetting to unpause OBS, made me lose the footage of a few levels, namely 29 and 31. But, not to worry, I'm an artist, and can expertly recreate the stages with skill. Okay. After that impressive display, we move on to level 30, which is where we meet balloons for the first time. And unlike the last run, this run, we actually have a chance against balloons, having enough sun to consistently use instas against them. It's far from easy, but I'm not going to allow Blover because of this. I only want to use Blover if I have no other choice in a run. Level 31, as I said earlier, wasn't recorded, but thankfully nothing crazy happened. We unlocked the mallet, and in case you didn't know, this thing is busted as all hell, killing even Gargs in a single hit, and having a small AoE. But aside from that, nothing new really happens. Another contender for the worst name, Zomplins. See, I hate it. Start to show up in level 32. But they're just really slow moving flying zombies, so they're way easier than balloons. By now you're probably thinking, wow, this world has been really easy so far. I bet it's going to be way easier than the last one, right? No. No, not even a little bit. This is where the difficulty spikes. 33, we've unlocked Starfruit, which when added with Sunflower creates Solar Fruit, our next attacking plant. Finally, after over half the game, we get another plant besides Solar Shooter to defend us. But don't rejoice just yet. Solar Fruit is very akin to a magnifying grass from PVZ 2. It's a manual plant that requires sun to fire, dealing big damage at the trade-off of giving yourself carpal tunnel. Seriously, I couldn't feel my hand after this in the next level. Oh boy. For those of you that have watched the last video, level 34 was a nightmare, the first level I got stuck on back then. But here, it's actually much easier. Not to say it's even close to an easy level, but it's nowhere near as hard. Near the end of the level, my hands went on strike and attempted to stage a mutiny. But doing my best impression of an American boss, I threatened to fire them if they didn't meet my cruel and unusual demands, forcing them back into poverty. Jokes aside, I was really worried at this point, because if the previous hardest level was easy, the law of equivalent exchange would make another level just as hard, right? Putting those thoughts aside for now, we moved on to 35, which thanks to the free magnet rooms they provide us, makes this level a cakewalk. Relatively speaking, that is, nothing about this challenge is really easy. Just like with the daytime pool, the final level of the fog is a conveyor, meaning we can skip it. This world feels weirdly short. I don't know if that's because I forgot to record 2 of the levels, or if they just go by faster, but it's a little weird. Anyways, looking back over the world, I still don't really like it that much. It's the most oppressive in terms of plants you can play. Cutting your sun production, filling half the screen with fog, having a massive water lane, and sending hordes of flying zombies like balloons and zomblins. I hate that name. I hate when games are oppressive or restrict freedom. Obviously, it's not completely oppressive or impossible to play. It still does provide plenty of room for exploration, but it's still annoying, man. So, I still have no idea what this world is. The wiki calls it the roof. but it doesn't really look like a one, and I swear it was called something else at one point. Anyways, this is also where we get our final attacking plant, Sun Cabbage. This thing not only saved the run, but also brought some much needed relief to my hands, no longer having to furiously click on Solar Fruit at the slightest hint of danger. As you'll see, this world is hard. Really hard.
Huh?
As per usual, the first level is a warm-up. Something to lure us into a false sense of security. But I'm no fool. I've learned my lesson now. This world is evil incarnate, and I came prepared. 38, 39, and 40 were all beaten with ease. Too easy. Something big was coming. 41, the same level that nearly broke me in my last run. It required multiple resets and plenty of thinking and planning. Eventually, I came to the conclusion that I would need Solar Chomper one last time. The Mecha Nuts were simply too powerful, I needed a counter, and Solar Chomper always has my back. The Mecha Nuts were no match for my powerhouse plants, and soon the hardest level was over with. This level is insane, but in this run, this wasn't even close to the closest call we've had. I know I've been praising Chomper this whole run, but up until this level, I was still a little iffy on them. It was only 42 where they cemented their place. Melon Pogos are huge threats able to leap past my Cabbage Bolts. That's where Solar Chomper comes in. Just a single row of them at the back is enough to deal with most of the Pogos. This is also the last level where Chomper really gets to shine. So, thanks a whole bunch, Chomper. I hope whatever challenge I do next, I get to use you again. 43, we have another familiar face. Sunday Shroom returns once more. One of the best counters to the Gargs in this level. Not only can he freeze the Gargs themselves, he also freezes the much more dangerous Imps. Normally in this game, Imps are just annoying, never really putting up a serious threat. But in this run, they're scary, often being tossed all the way to the back of my defense, and if I don't answer them, they can easily cost me a mower or just straight up end my level. Here it is, the final level, 44. With 45 being a conveyor, this is the hardest level in the entire game. I don't have too much to say about it, honestly. I think the gameplay speaks for itself. I had to completely focus on the game and survive by the skin of my teeth against the hordes. Mecha Gargs can't be frozen, but don't actually cause that much of a problem. It's instead the explosive catapults that really annoyed me, destroying my entire backline. This level was insane, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a blast. I celebrated when I finally beat it, nearly busting out into song and dance. This run was really weird. I don't think I enjoyed it quite as much as the Pew Shooter only run, but it was still a blast. Like I said last time, I love this game, and I could easily play it another 100 times. I do definitely plan to do more challenges of the game, though I do think the next video will be an Odyssey instead. So if you have any suggestions, make sure to comment them. I do my best to read every comment. Aside from that, I really hope you enjoyed the video. I should have the next challenge up in a week or so, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. Until then, have a wonderful week. The final levels of the world are easy. Level 8 gives us an almost unlimited amount of Jesus Christ almighty. What are you doing? Another day, another PVZ2. PVZ2? What? Why don't you really jump in the gun there, huh? So, this challenge was really odd. The hardest stages from the last challenges, what? There's just only been one. What am I talking about? Alright, I'm very talented, so, we're gonna, so that doesn't look right. We're gonna, wait. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, this is it. Yup. Yeah, it's like a grid, right? Yep. Where's probably a race? Oh. Oh no. Alright. We'll just get the weight and brush over it. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Wait, we need water. You're right. What am I talking to? Wait. Yep. This is the water lane, right? Oh, we need the fog. Yeah, that looks good. There's like fog.
That's way darker than I thought. The fog ray. And got like the zombies. Yeah, that's a zombie. In case you couldn't tell, that's a zombie right there. Wait, it's a zombie. Oh, it's a masterpiece, really. Don't you agree?